If you're leading people and want to tell stories like the top 1%, it comes down to understanding 3 simple things. In this video, I'll show you 3 ways to tell stories that get people to understand and follow your direction. But first, let's talk about how common storytelling advice doesn't move the needle for leaders and executives and business owners. As a professional storyteller, I've spent years learning how to make stories hit, pace, suspense, the whole movie trailer toolkit, and it works when the goal is to get attention. But when I started to work with leaders and executives and business owners, people who don't get paid for applause, I realized they needed a different type of story. Not a movie trailer that makes people feel something for a moment, but a mission brief that makes people move. Something clear, grounded, and built for ownership. So if you want to tell stories like the top 1% of leaders, you need to tell a mission brief kind of story, because most storytelling advice on social media is teaching you to build a movie trailer. Most storytelling advice tells you to create suspense, hold back the point, tease it, build to a reveal. And that's great if you're cutting a movie trailer. But leadership isn't a trailer, it's a mission brief, because in a leadership room, nobody's grading your creativity. They're scanning for one thing. Can I trust your direction? Uncertainty doesn't make people lean in. It makes them hesitate. And hesitation kills follow through. So the mission brief move is the opposite. Lead with a headline. Start with the point, then give the story as proof. Instead of, let me give you some context, and then 5 minutes later, so we should change the plan, say, here's the decision we need today, and what I recommend, and here's why. Then you tell the story, short, specific, and only to support the decision that's being made. Trailer stories tease. Mission stories align. Stop trying to be surprising. Start trying to be unmistakably clear. Leaders hook for trust, not attention. Most storytelling advice says your hook should spike attention, be provocative, tease, sensationalize, and that works for a movie trailer. But leadership isn't a trailer. Again, it's a mission brief, because in a leadership room, your hook isn't a trick, it's a trust signal. If you open with shock or bait, you might win attention, but you also trigger a silent question. Is this real, or is this person trying to sell me? And the moment people feel even slightly manipulated, you lose authority. They don't lean in, they brace themselves. So the point is simple. Stop hooking for reaction. Start signaling for recognition. Say what's true so the room thinks, yes, that's exactly it. Leaders end with ownership, not a lesson. Common storytelling advice says end with a moral, a lesson, a takeaway that is something inspiring. And that works for a movie trailer, because the goal is interest, and doing nothing after is kind of the default. In leadership, a story isn't complete when people feel something. It's complete when people know what they own. So top leaders don't end with the lesson is, they end with a handoff. Because if your story doesn't transfer responsibility, if it doesn't put a clear next step into the room, it wasn't leadership storytelling. It was entertainment in a suit. So the pivot is simple. Stop ending in a takeaway. Start ending with a transfer. So those are the 3 pivots from a movie trailer to a mission brief: clarity over surprise, trust over reaction, and ownership over takeaway. Now let me show you how to do this on purpose, every time, using a simple framework that I call ARC. Step A is anchor. Anchor is where leadership storytelling actually starts. You stabilize the room in what's true without spinning it. Before people follow you, they need to feel 2 things: that you see the situation clearly and that you're not trying to sell them. Churchill did this in 1940. He didn't hype the moment or soften it. He named the reality. This was going to be brutal and it was going to be costly. And that's why people trusted him. Clarity creates credibility. That's anchor. Be the clearest person in the room about what's true. Then, and only then, you've earned the right to go to the next step. So step R is reframe. Once you've anchored the room in what's true, the next job is to reframe. Because facts don't create movement, meaning does. Reframe is where you stop reporting the moment and you tell the team what the moment means. Satya Nadella did this at Microsoft. He didn't just talk about performance or products, gave the company a new identity to operate from. Not know-it-alls, but learn-it-alls. This single reframe changed the way people showed up. More curiosity, less defensiveness, and faster adaptation. That's reframe. You assign the meaning. You tell people what this is, what it requires, and who they need to be inside it. Do it well, and uncertainty turns into direction because the team isn't just informed, they're oriented. And step C is commission. Anchor is truth, reframe is meaning, commission is ownership. This is where the story becomes leadership because you hand people a role inside of it. A movie trailer ends with curiosity. A mission brief ends with commitment. Jeff Bezos captured this with his disagree and commit philosophy. You debate, and then you decide, and then everyone commits to execute together. That's commission. You don't end with a takeaway, you end with a transfer. Because the moment that responsibility changes hands, your story stops being information and it starts creating action. So that's the shift. Stop telling everyone movie trailers and start delivering mission briefs. Stories that anchor the room in truth, give it meaning, and hand off ownership so your ideas don't just land, they get carried. Now check this video out where I break down Steve Jobs and the specific moment he used to command attention without pretending to be someone else. That's real executive presence.